is just the start.
What's up, y'all? Thanks for stopping by the Obviously Lee Authentic channel. My name's Leah, that's spelled L-E-A and not L-E-A-H. So we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 6, episode 3. So it opens up with Robin, and basically she's still in bed. Juan's upset. But my thing with Juan is, Juan was fully dressed. So I'm like, why didn't you wake up your kids? Because his whole thing was like, Robin needed to wake up the kids, unless that's the task that she said she would take. But I'm just kind of like, I don't understand his frustration with her when I'm like, you could wake up your kids too. And you know, I'm from the DMV area. I'm the V in DMV. I know how the school system works. So it seems like her oldest child should be in middle school because he had to get on at 8 o'clock. So the middle school kids normally start at 8:20. High school starts at 7:20. And then elementary school starts at 9:20. So that's why the little one had to get on at 9. So he's probably still in middle elementary school. My only issue with this with Robin is, I understand her having like burnout and depression. I mean, a lot of people during the pandemic, we didn't know what was going on or what was going to happen next. So it's very understandable for her to have uneasiness and to be burnt out with the constant cycle of like, I'm at home, I will go to work, I help my kids with their homework, my kids go to school, I'm at home, go to work. It's like you don't have an outlet to go anywhere. So that's totally understandable. My only thing with Robin is that you still have to create some type of schedule for your kids. As someone who was in school during the pandemic, it was hard. And I'm in college, so I can't really fault anyone who's younger than me, because it's like I'm like, I can drive, you know, I can vote, I can do a lot of things. So it's kind of like, even with all that responsibility I have as the age I am at now and being in school, it was still hard to go to school, to wake up. Because it's like, what am I getting up? Like, why would I wake up before class to like, you know, brush my teeth or wash up or do those things, when it's like, all I got to do is still lay in bed, grab my laptop and log in. But what I found out is having a schedule was so much more beneficial for me. So like brushing my teeth, eating breakfast at a timely manner helped me so much better in the long run. And I think that's what her kids need. Also, I feel like since her oldest one is in middle school, and I know they have phones, I'm kind of just like, we need to start giving them some responsibility. Because if they're old enough to be playing video games and things like that, I feel like her kids probably were walking to the bus stop. So I'm like, they need to have more responsibility when it comes to getting themselves up for school, in my opinion. So then we see Ashley and Giselle meeting up. Giselle has come up with the bright idea to throw Ashley a pamper party, because, you know, she's about to pop. I think in the episode they explained that Ashley will be having her baby within a week. So I think on Saturday, I think that's when they're going to induce labor. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, good for Ashley. Like, I'm glad she had a safe pregnancy. I think the little boy's name is Dylan. So I was like, okay, good for her. Well, Giselle brings up the whole thing about Smeagol. As people call him, I've heard so many names for Michael. I've heard Smeagol, I've heard White Walker, I've heard Grim Reaper, I've heard Gollum. I've heard so many names for this man. I just can't. I call him the Grim Reaper. But yeah, Giselle asks about like, oh, how is Michael, you know, how's he doing? Is he treating you right? And she's like, yeah. And this is my thing. There was just a picture, like, it's being posted around the internet of Michael with some lady with her back turned, and it looked like they was in the club. And my thing is, it's like, it could be totally innocent. Like, Ashley could know that man is out there at the club having him a good old time. But because he has done so much dirt and they've caught him so much in just being wrong, it's just kind of like, he probably is doing something he ain't got no business doing. Like, you don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt, because you just don't. Because it's that predatory Grim Reaper, that White Walker. So no. So then Ashley, being her messy self, talks about Mia and how Mia said, you know, last episode, well, not the first episode, that Giselle had a beautiful heart. Like, she's a good judge of character and Giselle has a beautiful heart. Here's my thing with Mia. Mia put herself in that situation. Mia did not even have to interject between Karen and Giselle. Mia totally could have just sat back, ate her nice like little salad, and watched the women spar back and forth. Like, she didn't have to like intercede and try to like break up the tension, in my opinion. So it's like, you are making yourself look two-faced, because then they show text messages. But in the text message, because I read the text messages, it wasn't nothing. Basically, Mia was trying to get her older son, Josh, to hang out with Robin's kids so that, so that like he could play basketball with them. Because Giselle tried to make it seem like Mia was trying to like suck up to them and buddy to them, but she really wasn't. It was mainly like, hey, I'm trying to set up a play date for my son. So I was like, Giselle missed me with that. But she wants to throw this party for Ashley, and she's gonna invite all the ladies. She didn't want to invite Karen or Mia, really, after getting that information about Mia saying that like Giselle's just a pretty face, after Karen is telling everybody that Giselle wishes death upon Ray, and she's just stretching the truth. So I was just like, okay, lady. But yeah, she invites her anyway. So then we get to Mia. I don't care what none of y'all say. Mia a liar. Mia is a liar, and although I think her and Askala are great additions to the cast, Mia is a liar. Side note, I didn't talk about Askala with Robin. So let's get Robin's stuff out the way. So basically, we see Wendy, Wendy, Askala, and Robin, and they're at Robin's little factory of where she's like boxing up her hats that she sells. I think it's called Embezzle or Bedazzle. I don't know. It's some bedazzled hats, but it seems to be going really well, which I'm happy for Robin, because we didn't see Robin go through a lot with them. Robin not good with money, but this seems to be a really great venture for her, so I'm glad that it's working out for her. But basically what's happening is that they're just helping her box up stuff, and we're meeting Askala. Askala is Ethiopian. I knew she was Ethiopian before I saw her. One of my sister's friends, one of her closest friends, is Ethiopian, and they look very similar, just very like thin, tan skin, and really pretty and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, before she said, oh, I'm from Ethiopia, I said, girl, she Ethiopian. And when she said, I said, look at that. She seems really sweet. I like her vibe so far, but I think she's a good addition to the cast. While they're there, Robin talks to Wendy, and she basically tells Wendy, like, girl, why was you taking up for Karen? And Wendy basically says, like, she was like, I didn't want it to be a gang up on. And this is my thing. I don't think Karen was getting ganged upon. I really think Robin was just pointing out the obvious, because Robin wasn't like attacking her the same way Giselle was attacking Karen. Robin just said us like made a like maybe 2 comments, and then that was that. And then Karen came back at Robin. So I don't really think she was being ganged upon, in my opinion, to be completely honest. But Wendy was like, she just wanted to like make it even and stuff like that. And then Robin and her green screen is talking about like Wendy last year would have been totally loyal to Giselle. And I'm like, they just met each other last year. Just because they're sorors don't mean that they gonna be like that. No. And then Wendy with this stupid like Zen Wind crap. I'm trying to lower my cussing. It just doesn't make sense. It really, like, what the heck? Like, who told you that was it? Like, who told you, like, this is a name that you should go by? Like, who told you that? Like, for real, like, who told you, like, girl, this is the name that you should go by? Zen Win. I was like, you sound stupid, ma'am. You really do. As smart as you are, and as, like, accomplished as you are, this little, like, Zen Win sounds stupid. Because you're not Zen. You're really not Zen. You are actually, like, very aggressive and, like, you're just aggressive. Like, it's just, and you seem annoyed by everything, Wendy. Like, legit, lady. So we continue, and we see Mia. So this is my thing about Mia. Like I said, Mia is a liar. Mia is a liar. We found out Mia was a stripper. She's saying all of a sudden that she worked at a gentleman's club, but on her page she said she retired stripping in 2008. and I let y'all know about that. Then with the candles, so if you didn't know, Mia posted these candles where it said "Don't F with me." And then, like, she was like, buy these candles and put the ad name of the company you could buy the candles from. Then there was another candle that said karma is a bee. So everybody was like, oh my God, like, Mia's so petty. She's running, like, you know, she stole Wendy's idea. Then she just came out and said that these candles were associated with this one brand that is for women that have been abused, like, mentally, emotionally. Well, that's the same thing. Mentally, sexually, or physically abused, and then women who have recovered from diseases and like sexual identity, different things. Like, it was the candles are basically for everybody. Like, it's an inclusive candle brand that has a deeper meaning. And it's like, well, why did you allow everybody to think that you were selling these candles as your own and they're a part of a different company? So I said, girl, you lied. You lied. Number one, you're lying. That's that lie. Then you also lying about I swear she lying about her age. And I don't care what none of y'all say. That lady is not 36. She a good 41 or 42. I don't care what none of y'all say. She in her 40s. She really in her 40s. Because she legit was like, she went online talking about she gonna file like a defamation suit against Wendy. And I'm like, do you know how defamation suits work? You have to be able to prove that what Wendy said about you caused you any like financial loss or any like emotional distress. And legit, it hasn't, because everybody thinks you lying about your age, ma'am. So you lied about that. You lied about the stripper thing. It's like, girl, what else are you lying about? Like, don't get me wrong. I think Mia is a great addition to the cast. She is with the shenanigans. She with the ish. I like her, but she a liar. That's why her and Karen are friends, because Karen be lying. My only thing, so we got a little bit more information about Mia. We found out about her history with her parents. Unfortunately, both of her parents were, it's sad, both of her parents were dealing with substance abuse, and they gave her up to the foster care system. Unfortunately, Mia always thought her parents were going to come back and get her, and they never did, specifically her mom. She even told a really sad story to G about how it was Christmas and she was 6 and she laid on the floor, the cold floor, waiting for her mom to come get her. And I was like, dang, like, that's messed up to like want your parents, but they don't come and get you. So she wants to really talk to her mom and figure out like how to mend their relationship, because they really don't have a relationship. But then the only thing I'm not liking about Mia is how she feels about Eddie and Wendy's relationship. She keeps saying that Eddie is like being controlled by Wendy. Like, Eddie wouldn't even look at me when he came in because she's pretty. Because Mia is pretty, even though I know she lying about her age, but she is a beautiful lady. And then she was like, set him free, Wendy, set him free. It's coming off very like side chick. I've been a side hoe for some people. Because I know for a fact you wouldn't want another lady in her confessional telling her husband that he needs to be set free from his wife. It's giving side hoe, and I don't like it, Mia. So stop doing that. Stop. So then we get to Karen and Candace. So we get to Candace, and basically she talks to Dot. I like calling Dorothy Dot. I'm gonna call Dorothy Dot. And basically she's telling Dot that Chris is her manager. And I agree with Dorothy. Like, she started giving examples like Kendu and Mary. You got Monique and Daddy, Sydney. It's like manager situations with your husband don't never work out. But I saw a tweet on Twitter where Candace says right now, like, Chris is working as her manager, but he's getting to the point where he's gonna step back and let her do find someone else. But right now he just became her manager by default. And so far he's been doing good. Like, he was able to get her to get played on BET. her music is still being produced. She's becoming a part of like all these pilots and things like that, and she's acting very well. So maybe Chris is really doing his job. So let's get to Karen and Candace. Side note, I'm so happy to see Mateo and I think it's Nivea. Is it Nova? I don't know how to say that little baby's name, but I really like seeing them. I just think they're just so cute and sweet. And so basically Karen comes over and they talk. So here's my thing. Y'all might not like it, and I'm cool with y'all not liking it. We can disagree in the comments below. Just be respectful. But Karen's full of shit. And I don't care what nobody says. She is full of it because Karen keeps saying like, I was neutral. You were not neutral, ma'am. You were not neutral. You really weren't. And if that's your definition of neutral when it was Candace versus Monique, I'm going to need you to find a new definition because you really weren't there for Candace. And your reasoning for not being there for her is the fact that everybody surrounded Candace to protect her from Monique. They should have. Monique was tripping. Monique had no reason to put her hands on Candace. And then this is the thing that bothers me about the fans of the show who are on Monique's side is that y'all can justify what Monique did with outside information that like they were talking about her family. They were spreading the rumors around. But y'all don't understand why Candace doesn't see it for Karen when we have literal confirmation from Karen that she went to HR after Candace told her to go to hell when they were having a heated exchange in text messages. So to me, what is that? Like, you tried to get her fired from her job when you didn't even try to get the girl who was being physically violent to be fired. But you felt threatened enough by the girl that told you that you know ain't gonna bust a grape to go to hell after y'all got into an argument. You're full of it, Karen. You're full of it. And granted, you may have got emotionally dragged or whatever, but it wasn't to the extent of what happened to Candace, where Candace could put 1111 on Twitter, and in her comments, you just go to her comments. It's like, that's why you got hit in the head. That's why you just, like, your mouth so nasty, you got popped, da-da-da-da. So it's like, you really didn't get no smoke, ma'am. You didn't get any smoke, and it's annoying. It's very annoying because you didn't get any smoke. But my thing is, like, y'all are able to justify why Karen was neutral when she wasn't. Karen and Candace had a real relationship, and Karen threw it to the wayside to be with Monique because I honestly think Karen saw how much praise Monique was getting, and she just wanted to be on the right team in her context because her whole thing about like, well, Monique was being iced out. Okay. What she did was wrong. And she was not remorseful for it. She bragged about it on the internet. She made a song about it. So in what way? And then people on the internet talking about Candace is still on this. Monique is still doing interviews about this, and she's not even a part of this show. She's doing her binder stories with her Aesop fables and still doing that shit on Patreon. So if she can still talk about it and she's not on the show, then all of y'all can shut up and let Candace still talk about how she felt in her experience. Because this whole double standard is trash. Because the thing is, like, I get it. You don't have to like Candace. You don't have to like Candace. I'm not telling you to like be on Team Candace or whatever, but you need to be, in my opinion, you need to be realistic about what you see. A lot of y'all was doing mental gymnastics to justify what happened to Candace, and that was jacked up. That was totally jacked up. But what I will say is I'm happy that Candace is able to know the difference between friendship and co-worker. Because she even told Giselle that, like, you know, I could be cordial with her and we could be cool, but we're never going to be the same. And that's just the truth. And I'm happy that Candace can see it that way and keep moving forward, because I wouldn't trust Karen, especially when I know that your whole goal was to get me fired. That was trash. So then we get to, I was about to say Candace. We get to Ashley's pamper party. It looked decent. It looked very bare bones. I thought when Giselle said like, oh, we're having this party, that she was actually going to like host it at her house. But they were at a spa. The spa looked really nice. The food that they had, like the hors d'oeuvres, looked really good. Everybody was there. So even the new girl, Escala, was there. Side note, y'all, check out the Brooke Ashley and Carrie Contrary. I hope I say her name. If I'm not saying it right, I'll definitely put their names below. But they have channels. I found them during the debacle and the toxicity of season 5. They do really good reviews. Although, Carrie don't like Sutton from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but that's my girl. But she does really good reviews. She really does. She really does. And so does the Brooke Ashley. So definitely check them out. I'll put their names like down at the bottom so you can like type them in on the search engine. But yeah, I really enjoy their videos. Carrie actually checked out one of my videos. So like definitely check her out. So let's get back to it. So they're doing a little party. Everyone comes. The funniest thing to me was Candace's faces the whole time. Like everybody was having their issues, had me hollering. Because she was making faces that I would make. And then Wendy's face and Giselle's face, they were so bothered. When Karen walked in and gave Ashley the gift, Giselle's face got scrunched up like, And then when Mia walked in, like Wendy's eyes just got so big, and I was like, she was like, and was like looking back and forth, and I was like, girl, like she was itching to say something to Mia, and did that rehearse read. Wendy, we got to talk. We gonna talk. But everything seems to be going good. Ascala and Ashley leave the room to go get their treatments done first. And then this is when everything pops off. Let me get some water. This is when everything pops off. So I don't know how it came to be, but like all of a sudden Mia and Wendy get into it, and then Wendy gives this rehearsal read about like, you came for me. No, this is how it went. So Mia was trying to explain herself about the hands in the face and like the disagreement that Mia and Wendy had. So then Mia interjected, and so did Candace, because Candace was like, don't put your hands in people's face, because they could see that as being aggressive or antagonistic, because we know what happened to Candace. So then Mia's like, well, you're going to have to deal with me and my hands moving because I talk with my hands. And I talk with my hands, so I totally understand. But my thing with Mia is like, if you're in a confrontation with somebody, you don't need to talk with your hands, ma'am. You really don't. Like, keep your hands to yourself. Or, like Mia said, you need to move away from the person. So then her and Wendy were going at it, because Wendy was like, don't ever do that again. And then Wendy was like, I got time today, because what you will not do is come for me. Come for me. She was like, because I always got time. This is Zen win. So TikTok, Mia. And she didn't even look at her. Because that's how I knew it was a rehearsed read, because she wasn't even making eye contact with Mia. She was looking like Mia was like right here, and she was looking forward. She wasn't having the conversation with her. And I actually agree with Giselle when Giselle said, like, if you're going to have a conversation with someone, you got to let them speak. Because Wendy wasn't letting her speak. And then Wendy was like, you're dismissed. You're dismissed. And then Mia gets up and leave. And then I was actually glad when Candace said in her green screen, I wish Wendy wouldn't have to puff up her chest so much at Mia, because it's not that serious. And I was like, it really isn't. Like, Wendy is just like on 20, and it's like, you don't really have any justifications to be on 20. Yes, Mia is a liar, but like, she hasn't lied on you. She's just been lying on herself and been getting caught in her lies. But there's no need for you to be so like, I don't get why you have like a hard on for her, Wendy. Like, you're very successful. She's successful. Y'all both are very beautiful women. I was like, there's nothing you need to be threatened by Mia. Because it is coming off that you're threatened by her, because your aggression towards her is weird. And so then, like, she leaves, and then Karen comes and gets her. Then we see Ashley and Ascala coming back to the room, but they bump into Mia and Karen. And they tell the two of them about what happened. And then we see Robin, Giselle, and Ashley in the bathroom together, and they basically was like, we want to get to know Mia without Wendy and without Karen around, which I actually think is a good idea. So like they're gonna try to meet up next episode without them. We then have a scene where we have Candace talking to Wendy, and Candace basically saying, you don't want Mia to think that she can press your buttons. And I think that was Candace's way of being like, girl, you're showing her that you're pressed. And you keep saying that you're not pressed, but you're showing her that you're pressed. So you need to chill out. That's basically what Candace was saying in a nice way. So then we have the sit down with all the ladies, except I think Giselle and Robin were getting their stuff done. And Escala basically lets it be known. She was like, well, I have heard a little bit about you. I heard that you like to drink a lot. And she was referencing Karen. So Candace started giggling. And then Karen lied again, talking about, I have a really good relationship with everybody in this group. I can call them. They know I will call them. And everyone's like, girl, who you calling? Nobody. Then on top of that, she was like, calling someone a drunk is something very, like, an alcoholic is very serious. And I'm like, they flash back to the first episode where you called Giselle a drunk. So Karen lies, but then she also contradicts herself. And it's like, but y'all stand Karen. And I don't know if it's like the way people stand Jackie Christie, where it's like, Jackie Christie is a nutball, but we stand her because she's a nutter butter. And people like her like that. They like her crazy antics. I'm thinking that's the same with Karen, because to me, Karen, I really liked Karen in season 2 through 4. I like when she told Ashley, tell your man not to drop the soap. I like that read. But anything like, but it's, after that, it's kind of, because it seems to me Karen is starting to act like season 1 Karen, where she was the grand dame. And it's like, we didn't like you when you were putting on airs and fronts. And my other thing with Wendy, before I go, Wendy is like buddying up to Karen, and it's like, you just said last season how you were like, Karen has an issue with me because I didn't come to her for help, or I didn't lean upon her for help. But now you're leaning upon her for help for your like candle business, which is, there's nothing wrong with it, but it seems very like brown nosy. Like, I honestly think Wendy read all them comments about her last season about like how people really didn't like her. And unlike Candace is kind of just like, I'm gonna be who I am no matter what, even if y'all don't like it, and even if I can be a bee sometimes. Wendy, I feel like, is trying to morph into what is acceptable as a housewife to be more accepted by the fans. But it's like, you're coming at Mia, and Mia hasn't really done nothing for you to come at her for. And it's making you look bad, Wendy. That's all I'm going to say. It's making you look bad. So I hope things change for you. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. And yeah, drop in the comments below. Tell me what y'all thought about this episode. And yeah, I'm out. Deuces.